What's good, everybody, and welcome to Body Bag Podcast. I'm Chris Thomas, and with me, as always, Broke Writer Dave.
How we doing, everybody?
I'm glad that we decided to do this particular episode because I needed a second to talk to some of the people out there real quick, David, especially the ladies, real quick. Ladies, we here at Body Bag Podcast want to let you know we appreciate you. we do. We've had like a month of female like directors and the authors and that whole thing. I think that was season 2. We always do. We had like the month of women directors. We've had top 10. You've had your top 10 villainesses.
Yeah.
I like these trying to come with a definitive list.
Yes.
This is our top 10 or maybe top 5, depending on if we can come to some kind of consensus. Favorite female actress performances in horror.
Yes.
No real stipulations for this one. It's basically, it's a subjective thing, and we're going to see if we can like negotiate our top 10s into one definitive top 10 and one definitive top 5, perhaps. Because I don't think we ever really debate on this, you and me.
No,
And that's kind of what I wanted these to be, where we give a little, take a little, and then be like, all right, well, I think we can come down to this.
Yeah.
So, last time, was it just tit for tat? I gave one, you gave one?
Yeah.
Okay, so since I'm talking and hogging up the airtime, how about I go ahead and get us kicked off with my first one?
Okay.
And I guarantee you that we're probably going to have some overlap.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and say right now, my top 5 were a lot easier than the latter half, because I feel like I'm going to always be missing some important things. So immediately, number 10, I'm just going to, it's kind of like I've never really studied it, but it's an important performance, and that's Glenn Close in Fatal Attractions.
Okay.
This was I always hear about it, or like I always think about the Bravo's Top 100 whenever I think about Fatal Attractions, and how funnily kind of like women empowering it was. It was like, oh, it's making men not cheat, keeping it in their pants and whatnot like that. This one's kind of I feel like I have to put this on my list. It would feel disrespectful if I didn't put this on the list. She might not be my absolute favorite performance, like I go to it every time, but I like to pay my respects where I think it's needed. So that's why it's firmly right there at the number 10.
I mean, I've never seen Fatal Attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Probably why she's not on my list. For my number 10, I went with Allison Williams from Get Out.
Oh, okay. Oh, the
played Rose. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's kind of like it's kind of two similar kind of performances in terms of they're pretending to be normal and then they are actually crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a good. So this is how we can do this with our top 10. So do you want us to list everything out and have them all on the table, or do you want to say this is my top 10, this is your top 10, and then we debate which one we think should have the 10 spot?
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen Fatal Attraction, but I feel like that gets talked about more, has more leg power. So maybe Glenn Close should go at number 10 for the list.
I've seen bits and pieces. I've never sat down and watched the entirety of it, but if we're talking our favorite, like I've seen like the important bits, especially, you got the rabbit boiling scene, you got her at the end, spoiler alert, coming back, but I like to give respects to stuff that I know like set off like, oh man, this like this chick is crazy, kind of like keeping men on their toes, as you would say. So if we're going to do it that way, We'll go like, all right, so we think that we should give number 10 to the Glenn Close Fatal Attraction spot? Yeah. Although I did, and I thought that your entry was super attractive too, which is why I was sitting there like, man, I kind of want to give it to her. All right, so So now we're going with number 9 then?
Yeah.
So our definitive number 10, Glenn Close Fatal Attractions. Kind of, we'll say that's an honorary title, honorary respect given.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 9. I'm going recent with this. I'm going to go with Mia Goth in X.
Okay. All right.
Because she played both her and Pearl, correct?
Yes.
Mia Goth is blowing up right now. Her and Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, she is really blown up. I didn't even put her on the list.
I wanted to put somebody more recent on the list because a lot of mine are like paying homage to the classics, but I wanted to give a little shout to some new blood.
See, I got someone more recent on the list, but a little bit higher up.
But
Right now, for number 9, I have Linda Blair from The Exorcist.
oh well, I mean she's gonna have to. I mean that's a. I mean the performance alone has terrorized many people, like given so many
Yeah,
people nightmares.
yeah. Is she on your list anywhere? Or...
You know, that's why I like having top tens, like collaborative top tens, because she was not on my list.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I knew I
So
was going to forget someone.
yeah, dude. At the age that I don't know exactly the age when she was playing that role, but very young.
And all the stuff that was going on with that production and still,
Yeah,
you know, gave the performance. Yeah. Bummer, Mia Goth won't make the list, but Linda Blair has to.
yeah.
Um,
We come back and do this a couple years from now. She will probably be on it.
yeah. But I mean, I haven't seen Infinity Pool yet. And I
Neither
know,
have I.
and I know
I
she's in
haven't
that.
seen Pearl yet either. So
That might those will have to be for our summer of or season of sequel. We'll have to watch
yeah,
Pearl, but thought she deserved a mention.
yeah, definitely.
All right, so far it is number 10, Glenn
Glenn
Close from
Close,
Fatal Attractions, and number 9,
and
Linda
Linda
Blair.
Blair from The Exorcist.
All right, so number 8, and this is why I like these lists too, is that they're all subjective.
Yeah,
So because my number 8 is for some reason I always get her name swapped. It's Carla Gugino from Gerald's Game.
okay, from Gerald's Game.
Gerald's Game from the Mike Flanagan movie.
Yeah,
I just saw that within this past year for the first time. I had seen it recommended a bunch of times, and I watched it for the first time. It all takes place in one location. It's a good watch. It's very dialogue heavy,
yeah,
very tense. So it might not be a lot of people's cup of tea. A lot of people might like more like hack and slash in their horror, but this is a psychological horror movie.
yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy the movie too much.
Well, I really did. I like a good dialogue heavy movie sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, her performance was good, but
Well, again, all of
yeah,
this subjective. So what was yours? What was your 8?
I went with Isabel Furman from The Orphan,
Hmm.
a 12-year-old playing a 33-year-old pretending to be 9 years old.
But yeah. So yeah, it was how old was she when she did The Orphan?
When they filmed it, she was 12 years old.
So she was a 12-year-old pretending to be a 30-year-old playing a 12-year-old.
Yeah, she was 12 years old. The character in the movie was a 33-year-old pretending to be a 9-year-old.
See, the thing is, like I can't. Orphan was so long ago. I can't even remember if I sat and watched it all the way through. Um, I mean, I know all the stuff that happens, but I don't know if I just don't have a recollection of sitting down and just finishing it. Well, I mean, but I do and I don't. But
See, I did it this year because the first kill came out. Well, like last year, yeah.
yeah, so this is a tough one because Orphan was just kind of bland to me.
Yeah.
So you've never, or you said you didn't like Gerald's Game, and I say the Orphan's kind of blah. But the performances we can both say were good.
Yeah, I think, like, if you're going to go Carla Gudiano, I think her performance in The Haunting of Hill House is way better.
I mean, I don't know about that because in Gerald's Game, she has to carry pretty much an entire
Movie, yeah.
movie on her own. This is tough though.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to give it to Orphan because it's a little bit more well known, and I did say I wanted to get some younger blood in it, in here for some of the list, and you know, being a kid, you know,
Yeah.
she seems like she wasn't annoying. She played her part very well, especially for a young kid.
Yeah. I
So,
think she did a great job with that role. Definitely deserves a shout out.
so I'm willing to give that up.
Okay?
I like because I even said Gerald's Game is not everybody's cup of tea. It
Yeah.
happens to be mine, so
Yeah.
maybe Orphan's a little bit more kind of like acceptable to like more audience. So
Okay, yeah. All right. Now
wait,
on
it's 7.
7. Yep.
This might be a cheat thing, but I was gonna say Sarah Paulson in American Horror Story,
Okay.
but it's kind of weird because it's an anthology and people play different I'm
Yeah, it's hard.
so
Like, do
I'm
you have a
so
certain role?
so I'm just gonna say as Cordelia Good, the big bad witch. I think that was Cordelia Good. Let me, because her last name is Good. Give me 1 second. I need to verify that. Yes, Cordelia Good. She's the headmistress of Miss Roboshow's Academy of Exceptional Young Ladies, and she's the Witch Supreme. But throughout the entire series, it was Kathy Bates and Sarah Paulson who I liked seeing on screen. Oh, well, no, all the females and actually the entire cast is the recurring cast and repeat characters are really really good. But Sarah Paulson is in pretty much every season. So she gets she puts in some work. So yeah, she's up there.
For my seven, I went with someone really recent, Anya Taylor-Joy from The Menu.
Fuck, man. It's like, I guess that is
This is hard because I really do like Sarah Paulson in
that
American Horror
is
Stories.
it is it is the menu considered consider that a dark comedy? But is it considered a horror?
It's considered horror comedy.
It's because it was funny because I was going to put Anya Taylor-Joy from Last Night in Soho,
Yeah.
or I was either going to put her or I was going to put the actress. Oh, her name escapes me. The other main actress.
Yeah. See, I had that decision too. I was like, but in Last Night in Soho, she was more of the supporting actress.
Yeah, so I would have
In The
given it
Menu,
to.
she's more of the starring
Yeah,
role. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, as much I really do love the menu.
Yeah.
Um,
This is a tough one right here. Like, oh,
but Sarah Paulson, like she really is, enjoyable on the American Horror Story show.
yeah.
But man, I have it on record for me saying that so far the menu's been my favorite movie this year so far.
Oh,
But I think for me that was mostly because of Ray Fiennes. Anya Taylor-Joy is great, but Ray
yeah.
Fiennes steals the show.
They played really well off
Yeah.
each other in that movie.
Yes, they played fantastically off of each other.
Okay, how about this?
Yeah.
We put Sarah Paulson at 7,
Yes.
and then we take Isabel Furman off and put Anya Taylor-Joy at 8.
I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah?
I'm comfortable with that.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause that was tough to make right there. We both had good choices.
I like Andy. She's a really good actress. I don't think I've
She's
seen.
killing it right now, yeah.
I don't think I've seen her in anything. Well, I haven't seen New Mutants, but so I don't know
Yeah,
how.
outside of New Mutants, she's been good in almost everything she's in.
All right, I'm glad we were able to compromise on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so we're down, up to 6 now.
Yep.
All right, I had to give this as much as I did not like it. Well, no, for this one, I want you to give me yours first.
For 6,
Yeah.
I went with Nev Campbell from Scream.
See, I think that I have a strong contender to not have Sydney on here with mine.
Which one do you have?
I was saying it was either going to be Ruth or Meg from The Girl Next Door.
Oh,
That's because very few movies make me feel uncomfortable.
yeah.
Like just in my own skin. Like, man, I just feel just gross watching this.
Yeah.
But so I out of respect, I mean, I had to give it to a spot on the list because not a lot of movies can. I mean, I've watched. Saw, Hostel, Human Centipede, all that business, but this just made me feel like uncomfortable in my skin.
Really did, but
So, I mean, I was thinking, who would I give it to? Either Ruth, who was Blanche Baker and the one who was doing the torturing, or Meg, who was the girl getting tortured. Because that lady, I was like, man, like her and the woman from The Mist just are like two actresses' performances where I was like, man, I hate you.
yeah. Oh man. Oh, I didn't even think about that movie. Oh,
That one's another.
I'm uncomfortable right now.
That's another one where I had to be like this. I mean, I had to. Not many movies can do it, so I had to be on the list.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you as much as I don't want to, but
that's why Sidney Prescott, when I was like, oh man, I was like, because I don't want to see Sidney Prescott not on the list.
yeah. Oh.
Well, put her off to the side and let's see if maybe we can swap her out with somebody
Yeah,
down the line. Put her
Yeah.
off to the side for a moment.
yeah. And who was the actress that played Ruth?
Blanche Baker.
Blanche Baker. Okay. Blanche Baker at number 6. Oh God, I'm just uncomfortable thinking about that movie.
Yeah, and then not being able to talk about it because
Yeah.
the person ducked out. I was like, oh
Oh
man.
God, we watched that for no reason. I still remember that the first time we were about to record, I realized I watched the wrong movie and I watched Last House on the Left,
Hmm.
which is also a pretty uncomfortable movie to watch. But all right,
So where we at 5 now?
we are at the top 5.
Top 5, and then we have then we'll look over this list and see if we wanted to do any swap outs
Yeah.
or see if we want to like okay. So for my number 5, I would have to say Jodie Foster from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Um, when you think Silence of the Lambs, you mostly think of Buffalo Bill and Anthony Hopkins,
Yeah.
but I mean, they play very. Jodie Foster plays very well as a contrast to them. You know,
I
she's very.
think I
You
think
know,
I have you beat on this one though.
okay.
Sissy Spacek from Carrie.
You know, Carrie was going to make my list at one point.
Yeah. I think she absolutely crushed the role of Carrie White, bringing that Stephen King creation to life.
Hmm.
And like you said, when people think of Silence of the Lamb, they think of Buffalo Bill, Noble Lecter. But when you think Carrie, you think Carrie. So
Well, I mean, the movie's named Carrie,
yeah,
but but for Silence of the Lambs, I mean, I would say I enjoy her performance, but her performance makes the other performances stand out
yeah,
because she is supposed to very much be the she's the cop. She's, following leads and stuff like that,
yeah,
but she does a great job at it.
yeah.
But I think, like I said,
Yeah,
I think her performance is great to make the other performances stand out more. So I can agree with that. And I can say, yeah, you can go ahead and take that spot
yeah.
because I was gonna have her on the list too.
I mean, no disrespect, Jodie Foster. She did a great job in that movie, but
Hashtag Dave hates Jodie Foster.
yeah, let's get that trending. All
All
right,
right, so all right, that was easy.
yeah, Carrie at number 5 to the top 4.
All right, this is where we're probably gonna have some overlap.
Yeah,
I already like paying homage, like I said. So number 4, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
I actually have Jamie Lee Curtis a little bit higher up the list. So,
So who do you
what
have as for
performance do you have her for, though?
for Halloween?
I have it for H2O because I think she was actually better in that one.
Okay, so wait, so who do you have for 4?
For I have Heather Langenkamp from Nightmare on Elm Street.
See, this is where it's going to start getting messy.
Yeah,
So you think that? All right. So how about this? How about we lay out? All right. I say my number this. You say your number this, and let's get our 5 out in the open, and then negotiate where we think they should go.
okay.
All right. So I said so. My 5 was Jodie Foster, and yours was Carrie, right?
Yeah,
4, I said Jamie Lee Curtis. You say
Heather Langenkamp.
3, I say Sigourney Weaver and Aliens.
Same.
Oh, we both have the same number 3?
Yeah,
Oh, excellent. So we don't have to negotiate on that one.
no.
That is exactly where she belongs, right there.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me was Janet Leigh from Psycho.
Okay, I have Jamie Lee Curtis from H2O.
All right, and then number 1 for me was Eva Green, just being Eva Green. Just kidding. Mine was number. I had to put Eva Green on there because she's my girl. Kathy Bates has to have number 1 for me.
Yeah, Kathy Bates, Misery is number 1.
Misery.
For sure, yeah.
When I said let's do a top 10 actress performances, you immediately thought of Kathy Bates, I'm sure, like the second I said it.
Almost immediately was one
So I
of
was
the
like,
top ones I went to.
it was like, all right, well, number 1, I already know what number 1 is, so now I just need to think of all the rest.
Yeah.
So we have a number 1 and number 3, the same thing.
Yeah.
So we're only negotiating what number 2 and number 4,
2 and 4, yeah.
and then seeing if Nave Campbell can squeeze her way into somehow overtaking.
I would think.
I have Janet Leigh as 2, and who did you say is number 2 for you?
I have Jamie Lee Curtis.
And you said for H2O.
I mean, you can go either performance, but both. I think she was just a little bit better in H2O than Halloween.
We have to have Janet Leigh. I mean, the Psycho bathroom kill is like freaking iconic. But then
True,
again,
yeah.
I mean, if we're talking performances,
Uh,
I
I'm
mean,
willing to go with Jamie Lee Curtis 2 and then Janet Leigh 4.
so Jamie Lee Curtis would be number two and Janet Leigh would be four.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. So what is our entire top 10?
All right. So we got Glenn Close at 10, Linda Blair at 9, Anya Taylor-Joy at 8, Sarah Paulson at 7, Blanche Barker at 6, Sissy Spacek at 5, Janet Leigh at 4, Sigourney Weaver at 3, Jamie Lee Curtis at 2, and then Kathy Bates at 1.
I'm happy with this list.
Yeah, I feel like it's a pretty good list.
I think there was enough from both sides.
Yeah. I like how what we got the top three, two of the three we agree on.
Not that this list means anything about anything. It's just two dudes' opinions.
Yeah.
But I do like these. I do like these back and forths of trying to make a single list.
Single list, yeah.
So I chose actresses' performances. You want to go ahead and make our next what our next top 10 is going to be?
Let's go actors.
Just actor performances.
Yeah, we did actresses. Let's move it over to actors now.
A little something for the fellas.
A little something for the guys, for the boys.
For the boys out there, for the bro.
Yeah.
For the broskies.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah, that just felt gross saying it like that way.
Yeah.
So that's that'll be
fun.
That'll be fun.
I feel like that one we're gonna be completely different on too.
Oh yeah. But we're reaching near the end here of our season of bad movies.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna be doing next season, but as of right now, what's your from all the ones we've watched? What is your least favorite one that we've watched so far for this season?
Least favorite one?
Oh, that's a dumb question. Of course, it's no. I'll always know what you did last summer.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually just watched Urban Legend Final Cuts today.
Oh, spoilers! That's what we're reviewing next.
Yeah, it's decent. I don't get what all hate was about that movie, but
Are you? Was it the? Are you sure you watched the right one?
Yeah, I watched the first one last night.
Mm-hmm.
Average, decent movie. Then I watched the second one this morning.
And you said not bad?
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess I'll have to try to bring the hate because I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. It was a little boring at parts, but...
That's a little prelude to which you're going to be saying for next episode. But in the meantime, I'm going to get my list out and start trying to make this top 10 list. But to everyone of all of our followers who follow us, thank you. We appreciate you. Love you. Big preach. I've been Chris Thomas, and with me, Broke Rider Dave.
Have a good week, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to Body Bag Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave us a comment as to what you'd like to hear us review or any horror movie topics you'd like to hear us rant and rave about.
And while you're at it, you can find us on Twitter at BodyBagPod and on Instagram at BodyBagPodcast.
Thanks, and we'll see you next time.